Oh man, we are back. Okay, so we're sitting at 12th in the world at a 1922 rating. If we win this next game, then it should possibly crack us into top 10. I'm not 100% sure. The person that's sitting at 10th right now is sitting at a 1930 rating. So I do think, regardless of whoever we play here, if we do win, it should be enough to push us forward. But of course, we obviously have to win the game. Okay, so this person's ranked 90th. They have pretty interesting team. Their team does look a little weak to Zamazenta. It also looks a little weak to Farigiraf. I think we should lead Miraidon Farigiraf. Farigiraf's really good against the Calyrex. We will be able to roar things out. We'll be able to click Snarl. Zamazenta's really, really good here. Beats Grim, Incin, Rillaboom. It could do well against Clefairy. It could do well against the opposing Zama. And I'm thinking Volk looks pretty good. If they set up the grassy terrain with Rillaboom, then my Volcarona will get double recovery. And then to add on top of that, it is pretty decent against a good chunk of this team. It's not really good against Incineroar, but it doesn't really have too many problems against the other stuff. Well, actually, it does have problems against Cali Shadow, but I think we have enough as of right now to kind of beat it. Ogerpon's not good against Zama team, so I'm not going to bother looking at that. Whimsicott's a possible... Well, actually, maybe we do bring Ogerpon to break the screens. Nah, I don't think they bring screens. Even if they do, then that means they're going to kind of lessen their damage output, because Grimmsnarl, it can't really touch too many of the stuff on my team. Not to say that Grimmsnarl doesn't do nice damage, because it does, but against my team in particular, it has kind of a hard time, just because we have Zama, we have Miraidon, which could, like, Terra-type away its weakness. So, yeah. My opponent is going to lead Grimmsnarl, though. Okay. Here's my thinking. We could actually immediately Volt Switch on the Grimmsnarl here, and then I think we can probably just foul play the Rillaboom. I don't feel too bad about this. They're most likely going to click a U-turn probably into Farigiraf. I don't feel too bad. Would I lose anything from bringing in Zama? Probably not. I'm going to foul play Rillaboom just in case they U-turn out into their Calyrex. They're going to Light Screen. Fair play. So let's see what ends up happening here. We're going to Volt Switch. The thing is that is nice. Actually, do we bring in Zama? No, I think actually we bring in Volcarona instead. Just for this turn, just because if they do U-turn and then they switch out to their own Zama and then I have Zama Farigiraf on the field, then I'm forced to immediately Terra something. So they do click Knockoff. That is a bit unfortunate because we are going to lose our leftovers, but not the end of the world. We could start spreading around Burns, which is pretty nice. Yeah, so I think right here we'll just Will-O-Wisp the Rillaboom. Actually, let's actually Will-O-Wisp the Grimmsnarl and then foul play the Rillaboom continuously. They're going to click Reflect. I'm okay with that. The thing is, with Grimmsnarl clicking its moves, and it's not going to be doing any damage, so I'm not too torn up with that right now, although it might become a problem later, but so we have to just kind of start to whittle away at it, or at least, at the bare minimum, decrease its damage output. If they U-turn out into Calyrex, that is a Christmas miracle. So foul play will be doing a lot. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to bring in Zama, though, right? Let us see. That is Calyrex. Okay, so foul play is going to be doing a heaping lot of damage. Yeah, I mean, we could actually, on this turn, just probably... I think we could just click Roar, right? Into Calyrex, just kind of keep forcing it off the field. We could protect our Farigiraf. Yeah, no, I think we protect Volcarona here. We roar Calyrex off the field, just keep forcing it out, just to also turn away, or not turn away, to kind of get rid of some of these turns of screens. So that would be really nice. So we'll be able to force it out here. My opponent does have Incineroar, so they don't even have Zamazenta, so that means Volcarona is actually a lot more disposable for this game, which is good to know. They're also Terra typing their Calyrex here, so that's another thing that's also a big deal. They're going to go Terra Fairy. Okay. So that actually means Zamazenta stocks just went up. Okay, so that's good to know. So they're going to protect here. Do they Nasty Plot or do they Draining Kiss? They're going to actually Encore into our Volcarona, which I'm cool with it. Yeah, I mean, we could just keep clicking Will-O-Wisp into what was the Calyrex slot, unless they bring in Grimmsnarl, of course, but no, they bring in Rillaboom. Okay. What am I thinking here? I do want to Will-O-Wisp the Rillaboom, but if they bring in Grimmsnarl and I Will-O-Wisp that slot, is that the worst thing in the world? I don't think so, actually. I think we're going to Will-O-Wisp. We're going to actually click Roar into Incineroar, because Incineroar is most likely to Parting Shot a U-turn out into Calyrex. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because I think Rillaboom here really should switch into Grimmsnarl to kind of deny the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, that looks like Grimmsnarl. Yep, okay, so we call that play correctly. Not going to matter too much. We will force out this Calyrex coming on the field, so that's a pretty big deal. Whatever we force it back into, that's going to kind of determine what I do on this next turn. It might actually lead me to bring in Zamazenta. That looks like Calyrex, right? Yep, that's Calyrex. Adios, buddy. This is why I really like Roar on Ferreira, because you get a lot of utility and you can just force people kind of in uncomfortable situations. And again, it's doing a great job of just wasting away these turns of screens. That looks like Rillaboom. Okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad about this. I think now might be the perfect time to kind of bring in actually, no, we could wait one more turn, I think. I think we're going to Will-O-Wisp the Rillaboom. We will, I think, Roar out the Grimmsnarl, because Grimmsnarl is most likely going to switch. It's going to be Rillaboom switching out, probably into Incineroar to stop the burn. Okay, are they going to switch out Grimmsnarl, though? I think that's the big question here. It's a burning question that's been on everyone's minds. Yeah, they're gonna switch out into Calyrex. Okay, so we did a pretty good job of making a read there. Yeah, and we are doing a good job at wasting away these turns. I think now, on this turn, now we could finally switch into probably into Zamazenta. I think we actually want to switch out the Farigiraf, just because chances are the opponent's going to Parting Shot onto Volcarona, because Farigiraf isn't threatening any damage right now. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to do. We're going to actually just protect Volcarona, hard switch out Farigiraf into Zama, and then we could actually switch out Volcarona on this following turn back into Farigiraf to kind of deny any sort of paralysis coming my opponent's way. So yeah, so I think here we're going to just do that. Protect, hard switch out into Zama. We'll try to see if we get up a Trick Room at some point. Considering the fact that my opponent has Parting Shot on Incineroar, there is a chance it could be a Will-O-Wisp set. So that is also something to keep in mind. But also bringing in Zama this turn, it means we're not at -1 attack, so that's also another big deal. So yeah. So let's see what happens here. If they also Parting Shot on Zama here, I also don't think that's the worst thing in the world, because we still have our Terra type and we still have a bunch of options as far as what we could do. So yeah, I think on this turn, though, yeah, they parting shot the Volcarona. I think on this turn we do want to try to kill the Grimmsnarl, however. Okay, they're going to knock off Zama, which isn't going to matter too much. I don't think Heavy Slam will get Grimmsnarl, but it certainly will, I think, bring it down into the red. Did we swap into Farigiraf? I wasn't paying attention. So swap that in. Heavy Slam. Yeah, this just feels like the best play to me. We still have our Terra type, so we could always go Terra Electric on Miraidon and just blow up the Calyrex at some point. Yeah, the opponent's going to click Parting Shot here. We do block that with Armor Tail, which is pretty good. Heavy Slam's going to do a nice amount of damage. And my opponent does have Will-O-Wisp, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But I don't think that's the end of the world. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of burn. One of the screens, I think, end this turn. No, they do not. Okay, screens are going to end soon, though, so... I think on this turn we foul play the Grim, and I think we just should body press, right? Which one do we body press, though? I think we just body press Incineroar. I just want this burn to be kind of like a guaranteed KO. They're going to just switch out Grimmsnarl, so they're probably saving the screens for a little bit later. Body press, even with the burn, still is going to do a lot, and foul play should also do a decent chunk to this Rillaboom as well, just because it is a physical attacker. Okay, so my opponent's going to just pull out a double switch here, which I am cool with. Yeah, I think on this turn we could finally set up Trick Room. Probably hard... actually, could we hard switch in Miraidon? Because if we hard switch it in and then they Draining Kiss that slot, then that could be bad. Decisions. There goes Light Screen. I think here we're going to finally Trick Room. Do you think they go after Zama? I mean, Zama's, like, not doing a whole lot right now. I'm going to switch in Miraidon. I think this is the best play. My opponent's just going to hard switch out Calyrex, which I wasn't really expecting. I thought a Draining Kiss was coming out here. So that actually makes this play even better, because now we could just, like, Terra Electric in this following turn, and that will be quite good. So yeah. That also means we don't necessarily have to Terra with Miraidon just yet as well, so that's another thing. I mean, this game is really long. It is quite a long game right now. But the thing is, once they do lose one Pokemon, then it's going to kind of be like a domino effect, and then the game should be ended pretty quickly, so... yeah, that's a good thing that is worth noting. What is that? Is that Calyrex? That is Calyrex. Okay. Alright, so we set up Trick Room. I think... I mean, they're gonna protect Calyrex, right? Yeah, no, I think we Volt Switch and Foul Play the Incineroar slot. I think a Rillaboom's gonna be coming in there. Yep. Okay, so that's gonna be Rillaboom. Foul Play is gonna do a nice chunk, and then we should be able to get in Volcarona for free as of right now. I don't think my opponent will Astral Barrage. They probably click Draining Kiss, if anything. Foul Play does a decent chunk. Volt Switch should do an okay amount. That looks like it's just outside of Fiery Dance range. Actually, do we even bring in Volk? Might actually be better bringing Zama. Yeah, you know what? I think it's better to bring in Zama just because we kind of deny... Not that we deny Incineroar coming in, but we can threaten body press damage. My opponent's going to click Draining Kiss. I'm okay with this. Does not too much damage. And then I think we could just start clicking kind of Roar again into the Calyrex. Or actually, maybe we don't click Roar into Calyrex. Because the thing is, we could lose for Farigiraf to like a Wood Hammer. I'm going to actually switch into Volcarona. I'm going to body press the Rillaboom. Just try to do as much damage right now as I can to it. They probably just still keep clicking Draining Kiss with Calyrex. If they click Astral here, that would be a little rough. If we could get a burn here, that would be quite swell. And we do. Okay. And then Body Press will do a decent chunk on whatever comes in. If they bring in Grimmsnarl, then that will go down, which, I mean, finally. And then if they bring in Incin, then we'll do an alright amount here. So, yeah. And they bring in Incin. Okay, so not too bad. This game is very long. Body Press is going to do an okay amount. Yeah, it does like a third about. That's also Rocky Helmet. My opponent's going to click Draining Kiss. I'm assuming this was into what was the Farigiraf. Okay, not a big deal. How many more turns of Trick Room are left? I gotta look. I think there's like 2 turns. I wasn't really counting. It's 2 turns. Okay, we're gonna Fiery Dance into Calyrex and Wyguard. Here, my opponent really should click Astral, I think. Actually, no, we're going to Fiery Dance and Hard Switch out into Miraidon, actually. I'm thinking here actually you should click Nasty Plot instead. And if they do click Astral, then that means that, like, Miraidon should be okay because we are the Assault Vest variant, and then we are just very much free to Rage Powder this next turn because we saw that that was a Rocky Helmet Incineroar. Right, they're going to Parting Shot into Miraidon. I'm cool with that. Fiery Dance will do a decent chunk. Well, not a decent chunk, but it will do an okay amount to this Calyrex. And then, depending on this following turn, it will kind of determine what we do next. They bring in Rillaboom. I am cool with that. Because we can just bring in Farigiraf now to kind of deny any Grassy Glides or any Fake Outs. And then the following turn, we could Trick Room just again. We also do get a special attack boost. That's also really nice. My opponent is going to Nasty Plot. Not the worst thing in the world. I think... I mean, we still have our Terra Miraidon, so... I think we Fiery Dance into Rillaboom, we Hard Switch out into Farigiraf, we'll deny a Fake Out. We would also threaten a Roar on this following turn. My opponent most likely is going to click U-turn here, probably out into Incin, but I'm not feeling the worst about this. They do actually click Fake Out, so we are going to be able to pick up a KO here, which is really nice. Also, we get the +2 special attack, and that's also really good as well. Their terrain's gone, so that's another huge deal about this. So, yeah, I'm not feeling too bad about this. My opponent is going to click Draining Kiss. I'm assuming into that is into the Farigiraf slot. Okay, that's gonna do a little bit of damage. Yeah, I'm still not feeling too bad about this, even though they are +2 at the moment. Yeah, 3 minutes until the battle ends. Oh man, this one's been taking ages. Okay, there's Incin. Alright. How many more turns of Trick Room are left? No more? It ended? Okay, we just protect the Volcarona here. We set up another Trick Room. Chances are they do... Draining Kiss. Yeah, I think we just set up Trick Room, because even if they get the +3, Miraidon still should be able to live. So, yeah. So they are going to Draining Kiss. A little bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. And we will be able to bring in Miraidon for free, so that's also another thing that is worth noting here. Yeah, they are going to click Parting Shot. Makes sense. We could also play into the timer as of right now. That is another aspect of this. Yeah, no, I think we'll actually play into the timer. We'll go Terra Electric. Which one do we... I think we Terra Electric the Calyrex, right? Yeah, because that will pick up a KO, and let's say they don't go after the Miraidon. Well, actually, if they do go after Miraidon, then we still have 3 Pokemon in the field. And there is 60 seconds until the battle ends. So, yeah. Okay, so we're going to go Terra Electric. This is going to do a lot of damage. If they Astral Barrage, I think we'll be able to pick up a KO here on the Calyrex. So that is also something that is worth noting. So they are going to click Astral Barrage. Even a +3, they shouldn't get Miraidon. Yep. Okay, and we should be able to pick up a one-shot here. Okay, there's a +4. Yep. Okay, so we do pick up the not Miraidon, the Calyrex. Yeah, based on HP stats, I think we should end up winning this one. Okay, they click Parting Shot. I am cool with it. Gonna go back. Yeah, because I think Volcarona, it's at full HP, right? So should be okay. This game is this game is really long. I'm just waiting, guys. Oh boy. Okay, they're gonna send out Grimmsnarl. Yeah, and we do have max HP on the Volk. So we're just going to send that in, and then we should be okay. I don't think... Yeah, because their Grimmsnarl is so low, like, we should be fine, I think. We just Fiery Dance into Grimmsnarl, and we Electro Drift the Incin. It should say the game's over. Huzzah! Okay, we win that one. Yeah, that was... Wow, that was a really long game. We made some really nice reads, but we almost let the Calyrex get a little bit too out of hand at the end there. So that one's kind of on me. The thing is, it was kind of risky assuming that they weren't a Sash set, but usually on teams like this, like, based on the composition, like, Calyrex typically isn't Sash. It's usually, like, Covert Cloak or Life Orb. Obviously, it wasn't Life Orb, but, yeah, like, I think that was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I don't have too many complaints about that one. And we are sitting at 8th in the world. Oh, man. Okay, so... The song of the day, it is going to be In Bloom by Nirvana. Nirvana is one of probably the best bands from the 1990s. Actually, some might even argue the best band from the 1990s. I personally felt Pearl Jam was the best band. That's just me personally. But Nirvana, pretty good band. I can't deny it. So yeah, also looking at our rating, we should be at, if Pokemon Home would update at some point in time. Give it 1 sec, ladies and gents. We are sitting at a 1934 rating. Okay, so we are absolutely crushing it right now. Yeah, that being said, hopefully you guys have a great day. I will see you all next time. Enjoy.